Hi. uh, I don't know why I just did that. Hey everybody, it's Grounded Roots Healing. I'm Jason, and I'm in a weird mood. So I didn't sleep. I guess that's probably why. I'm working night shift. I have a little bit of a break, so I came into town to get some food because all I got left is a can of beans. And I'm drinking my microplastic coffee. I won't tell you which coffee place here in Canada it's from. But, yeah, I slept like 4 hours. I feel like shite. And I wanted to talk about cursing. I love cursing. Absolutely love cursing. That doesn't sound very spiritual, does it? I was thinking about the energy of it. Everything's vibrating. Like every emotion you have is an energy stored in your body, not necessarily stored in your body. So when you have something like not sleeping and a bunch of a-holes driving overly jacked up noisy trucks that are excessively noisy for no reason, this kind of stuff drives me nuts. This is all a matrix. It's all a simulation, but the simulation will send you things that get under your skin like you wouldn't believe, especially someone like me with autism. I'm still laughing at that intro. I'm gonna be aggravated by loud noises, and it'll push those buttons, especially when you're tired like this. Now, my eyes are red as hell. I haven't had a chance to shave. I got a friggin' stain on my shirt. I feel like crap. And all I want to do is just let out this energy. And I contest that there's no better way to do it than letting out an expletive-ridden rant. It's one of the best ways. You tell me a word besides the F word that clears energy faster. I don't know of one. I don't know of one that feels better to say. Even if there's nobody around, you say it, it works. You will feel better. So it has a vibrational frequency, and it's high vibe. I contest it's high vibe. If it's moving that much energy and you're feeling relief out of your system, it must be. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. You don't hear a lot. I guess you can't see Eckhart Tolle like going on an expletive-filled rant, you know. But for me, there's no better way to get that out. Maybe it's something to do with the avatar versus the higher self. I don't remember. When I was in Christ consciousness for those few days, I don't remember cursing a lot, but I sure do now. And you know, not everything that feels good is we're supposed to do, obviously, right? So I have to think about this one, but boy, do I like doing it. I got a real trucker mouth, and I don't want to stop. I don't care how spiritual I get. There's something so funny about it, you know. It's so stress relieving, so funny, so instant, so easy to access. I haven't found anything that helps me more, and that sounds ridiculous, but I swear. Yeah, I do swear. You know, and then you wonder why. I mean, there's no such thing as good and bad, right? And a lot of the stuff that we've been told, bad words, Why? Why would it be a bad word? What about that word makes it bad? Who decided that that word was bad and that this was okay and this wasn't okay? A lot of it came from the church, who ingrained it into society and said that these types of words aren't to be spoken. Well, I'm not just trying to sound conspiratorial, but a lot of the stuff they've taught us wasn't for our best interest. So perhaps, just perhaps, these words aren't bad at all. Again, I need to think about this more, but I thought it was something interesting that's been bouncing around in the old noggin, and for a couple of days actually, because you don't sleep and you're in a situation where you're stressed out and you spill coffee on yourself and you got to go work a stupid job that you don't want to do. It's draining on your energy, and it lowers your inhibitions. You're more likely to make mistakes when you're doing this. And this is when I curse the most. So yeah, I gotta really sit and think about this one, but boy does it feel good. And I'm not afraid to admit it, that I think there was a study done on it actually. I remember quoting this a few years ago as an excuse of why I curse so much, but there was why it was okay. But there was a study done about specific words in the dopamine release when said words were used, and F word was right at the top of the list. And it didn't matter if you replace it with frickin' or actually it did matter. It had to be that specific frequency. You can't replace it with friggin' or frickin' or any of these other words that we use here, especially on the East Coast. Friggin' is well, that was the acceptable word when I was a kid. A replacement. But it just doesn't hit the same. I'm rambling here about curse words, but this is the stuff I find funny. I say it loud and proud, and I don't care who sees it. If at some point I decide I don't need to use those words, perhaps I won't. But like I said, who's the decider of what word is bad and what word is good? I've never liked listening to people tell me what I can and can't do. In fact, I often I do it on purpose. It's a part of the autism thing. Someone tells you can't use that word, you're going to use it, especially as a kid. It's the defiance is the word to describe the way we are, for sure. Anyway, confirmation burp. Yeah, I better get going. I gotta go to work. But I thought this was interesting. Yeah, what the guy just parked right next to me. I'm like 6 effing miles away from the store so that nobody would do that, and they did it anyway. Like, this is the shit I'm talking about. I'll take my 2 red eyes, which in Eastern Canada we would say 2 piss holes in a snowbank, and I'm gonna go to work. So like I always say, guys, hope this video finds you well. I love you all, and we'll see you soon.